Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dire Bear Adventuring Company. Once again, the passage of time affords us no recourse as it is now Saturday, meaning you are invariably here to join us for the 30th installment of the Stolen Cities. I am joined, as always, by my ever-present compatriots, Venolin, Ralakat, Cross, and Jason, whose burning furnace ignites all enemies of life. Previously, on the Stolen Cities, the party finally confronted Alzen von Karst, learning that the teleporter is very nearly complete. However, it requires one final component, a power core capable of long-distance travel. Unfortunately, powered as it is right now, it is incapable of doing any more than very short-range teleportations, and without another teleporter to link it to, they are still one way. As such, he requires a stronger power source in order to ensure that the teleporter can get them where they need to go, which he also may have let slip is another stolen city. Roll credits. Yes, we love Maddie's facial expressions here in the Dire Bear Adventuring Company. They are just absolutely exquisite.
As he likes to remind everybody, he then, has to remember that he has white friends.
Hey.
You were making fun of my music taste earlier? Fuck you.
No, I wasn't making fun of your music taste. I was making fun of the fact that you not listening to your music for a couple of hours genuinely sounded like you just got denied a home loan. Like, in any case, not wanting to have a very awkward conversation with V7 and not wanting to remove the power source from their lovable automaton, the party decided that the next best course of action would be to search the last and closest teleporter to their current location. The one they destroyed at the Barclay Coliseum. I'm sorry, what did we just get in chat that frickin' caused Maddie nearly do a spit take?
Classic Maddie, my favorite yoga pose where I simply flip somebody off. The very first photo Decca ever took of me at PAX South was literally me flipping him off after I had a nightmare time at the airport because they lost my luggage.
Oh.
Memories from 2015.
Shut the hell up, Twitch. I don't want to listen to you.
It was good times. It was a fun con.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
It's the very worst of times.
Yeah. Yeah, I got unironically miladied at that con.
Dang. How'd that go?
No. Mm-mm. Moving on.
I mean, did you deserve it?
The results of your subterfuge are immediately apparent as you enter the Barclay Coliseum. The explosion seems to have torn open a sizable chunk of the roof. And while the... and Jeez. And while it seems that the cranes have done quite a decent job at removing wider sections of the roof, you can very clearly see the sections that were ripped apart by something less than intentional, i.e., a massive explosion. There is debris kind of everywhere. There's water damage, there's exposed electrical wiring, and the resulting chaos has kind of turned the rest of this place into a little bit of a labyrinth to navigate without, subjecting yourself to some things you might not want to subject yourself to. However, the teleporter remains, for the most part, right where you left it. The platform is completely destroyed, almost obliterated. However, the surrounding mechanics, i.e. the pieces of the control panel and some other pieces that were surrounding it, are still there, awaiting extraction. From what you saw outside, it does look like whoever these people are, they do intend to do something with this tech once it's done being extracted. However, they have afforded you a small window of time to explore this area, find anything you think may have left behind, and get the hell out. Cross or me D100.
I was really hoping that you were going to forget about that.
Wait, don't I have the ring?
I'm still attuned to it.
Oh, that is a thing.
$56?
Hello, Otter.
So, 56?
Yep. Not a problem. We will continue. The Colosseum's primary ways of getting down to the main level have mostly collapsed when this ran. Ah, Otter, wonderful. So, during the climax of Act 2 of the campaign, Cross was able to temporarily seal away this blood god by the name of Sangren by imprisoning him within a ring of mind shielding. However, the blood god did not take quite kindly to this, and he was warned very early on that such a prison would not hold for very long. As such, I have been having him roll D100s at the start of most of our sessions. I want to say all, but I'm sure I've forgotten a couple. To sort of highlight his progress. Yes,
that is
it
the
is
one
the
you
one he
selected.
It's the
suplexed.
very one.
Currently, the party is trying to do something about that before it breaks. With the exception of Cross, the rest of you can roll me an investigation check.
I am not with the party.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're not.
I had a different problem.
Yes,
Yep.
I can't wait for you to rejoin us with that fucking bird.
I can. Fuck birds and everything they stand for. Flying feathery cunts.
See, you
I should not
say
have said that.
You say that. But let's be real. The one thing you're eminently dreading is the fact that the party is going to be like, what do you mean you have a pet bird? I thought you hated birds.
See, I don't have a pet bird. It is now a parasite that is living on my shoulder.
You have a rival.
Man's got a pet bird and he's upset about it.
Really living in his walls.
Did you say investigation?
Yes, yes, please.
I borked that one. That's an 8.
I have not played Res 2. And in fact, I have never played a single Resident Evil game
That's
ever
a
in my
13
life.
For me, Alex.
Yes, I have my own personal big bad, and I'm going to name him. I don't know. What should I name him?
You had a whole week.
I've had more important things to worry about.
You had a whole week.
Tim. No. I appreciate the suggestion, Waffle, but no. I've got the perfect name.
Are you gonna name him Waffle?
No.
You can tell me later when you show up.
I'm going to, and I'm gonna be in character.
Venelin. Haha, yes you are. Venelin, you're searching, and for a while you don't really see too much of a way down directly. Most of the stairwells and service hallways have either collapsed or been destroyed by rubble or been otherwise made difficult or impossible to traverse by electrical wiring or debris or other such hazards.
Ignore that. It's not important. Continue.
However, a thought occurs to you as you recall a move that Ral did once. And you start to think that if you could get into the upper rafters, you might be able to rappel down.
Oh, so it's one of my actually good ideas.
Well, Alex, I'm going to ask a very important question. Are the rafters 120 feet above me, or are they more than 120 feet above me?
I'd say they're about 90-ish feet above you.
Oh, good. I'm going to separate from my shadow, send my shadow up into the rafters, and then teleport to my shadow.
And that does plenty to help Jason.
See, what I was gonna
Well,
suggest
Jason's
is
got wings.
what I was gonna suggest is you can just like try to double jump, just jump, throw the rope, and then like yeet yourself up.
What is this,
But-
Just Cause 3?
That's alright, guys. I'll just sit here and keep watch.
No.
Baz, you know what? You know what I hate? Like, you just reminded me of an episode of The Science where Austin explains just how much energy would be required to perform a double jump in real life.
Yeah?
I don't know why. But ow. In any case. What the fuck? Ah, there we go. No, hang on. There we go. Jason, you're kind of looking around yourself, and you also don't really see too much of a direct way down until suddenly Venelin just kind of whoop, and she is gone.
Venolin, are you quite alright?
Yes, Jason. Everything's fine.
Jason probably hears her from above. Oh, there you
Well, if
are.
y'all are talking at normal volume, then 90 feet's a long way. But
The acoustics are very good in here.
It is a stadium.
A destroyed one. But yes, I'll
Still
give
a
you
stadium.
that. I'll give you that. I will give it to you.
And also, I don't think you actually want me to talk at the volume that I would be projecting to get my voice across 90 feet. I would blow everybody's eardrums out because everybody is wearing headphones.
Why not? Okay.
Bad audio. But yes, Jason will see her all the way up in the rafters, and he's gonna do his. He's gonna flap his way up there. Just jet engine his way up and glide back down to where Venolin is.
Deca says stand away from your mic, obviously.
No.
Wow.
Because I don't need my roommates trying to figure out what's going on. I still live with people.
Dang. An affront to method acting. Jason has wings now, actually. However, Jason, will you be taking your friend with you?
Yes.
Your best friend, the little guy.
The living, breathing JoJo reference.
Cross. We have quite a vertical climb. Care to climb aboard, and I will get you up there with Venolin.
Alright then.
Also, yes, Deca, have you not seen anything Jared Leto's ever made in his life?
So do most of the people he works with. Anyway, moving on.
Excuse me. My apologies.
Cross will climb onto Jason's back. Let her carry him.
He just Warframe bullet jumps up. In any case, Venolin, a short time after Jason recognizes that you are up there, he immediately takes Cross and flies up there with you.
Well, the thing that we need is down there, and they haven't removed it yet. However, this is going to be the safest manner in which for us to get a hold of it. Hopefully before they do. And without, electrocuting ourselves and whatnot.
Oh yeah, this thing is a power source, right?
Mm-hmm. And the last thing we want is to injure ourselves while attempting to do something for Alzin. Has anybody seen Ralakan? Where the fuck did that dumbass go?
Everybody except Ralakan, make me a perception check, please.
Right. That is a 16.
$22.
12.
Cross, you can kind of hear them on your way up. Jason, you only hear them once you land on the thing. But as you guys are starting to have this conversation and Jason lands on the rafters properly, It immediately startles and sets aflight a swarm of bats. Slightly startling Venolin. Not enough to, like, throw her off the rafters, but enough to make her whirl around a bit. They immediately take flight from the rafters, about 20, 30 feet from where you guys were. Swirling around, heading down towards the center of the stadium before an exposed wire crackles slightly and startles them further, causing them to abandon it and head outwards.
Well, that wasn't alarming. Still doesn't answer my question about where the fuck the stupid vampire is. Did anybody see him leave? Did anybody notice him leaving? I'm gonna just rephrase that question before you even say anything, Cross, because I'm not stupid, and I'm pretty sure you probably would have noticed him leaving.
Well, okay, just to recap last week. Did Ralakan mention at all that he was getting hungry?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ralakan was saying that he was getting hungry, so maybe he went to go find food. And was being courteous and not asking us.
A vampire said he was getting hungry and left. Wow, I really hope he doesn't murder somebody because I cannot remember the last time he actually fed.
Flash to Ralakan and his bird, and they're just arguing with each other.
Every time Ral gives him an insult, he pecks him.
I mean, I want to have a lot of faith in Ralakan. Despite his eccentricities, I want to say that he has a pretty strong will.
He does seem rather opposed to drinking the blood of humanoids.
Well, that's because he wants
My
to live.
hypothesis is that he might have gone hunting to see if the blood of animals can suffice.
Well, let's hope that he didn't wait too long, because it doesn't matter how good your will is. If you wait too long, you tend to go feral, and then, well, anything will do.
Yeah. You're right. So, I couldn't help but overhear the sound of that electrical charge. Are we sure it's safe to go down there?
No, not at all. But unfortunately, we need the thing. So we're just gonna have to be extremely careful.
Rotten, what's the plan?
Well, my original idea was that I would rappel down with rope, and then we would use the rope as a pulley system to haul it up, and then over to where we were. That was my original plan. Mostly because I don't think collectively any of us, well, singularly, I don't think any of us alone are strong enough to haul this thing out. However, working together, that might be a different story. So, my idea, again, the pulley. Help it take some of the weight. but I'm not sure if it's going to work or not.
Okay.
Alex. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. I was just agreeing.
Alex, I seem to remember, well, Jason does have a fingered hand that he got from, I believe it initially belonged to Strix, and it had some sort of ability that we never...
Long to who?
From,
Cassidy.
one of the...
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But it had like this power that we never really went into about like turning on and off electronics.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if this could be something helpful when dealing with live wires.
You kind of take the hand out. It is a left hand, so you kind of withdraw your clamp hand and attach the fingered hand. Immediately, you are enlightened to a very wide range of functionalities of a fingered hand as opposed to a clam hand.
Opposable thumbs are wonderful.
However, the next thing you note is that a suite of commands seem to be available involving the evaluation of electrical systems, particularly computer systems. The control panel is still operational, though it does seem to be in a sort of emergency/low power mode. It looks like you can, at the very least, temporarily divert the electricity. Move it into another section of the wiring so that somebody could safely extract it.
Perfect. Yeah, as we're setting up this sort of pulley system, just give me one moment, Venelin. I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit safer for the rest of you. He's gonna fiddle around with the control panel and try and divert the power to what would be like another nearby power source around here.
Most likely the Jumbotron, which is still active. Which is still, well, attached.
Yeah, we will divert power to the Jumbotron. There we go. Should be safe enough to handle for a short while at least, without fear of getting shocked.
Well, then I guess we better get to work.
Okay. How much rope do we have to work with?
Well, I have... Well, every pack has 50 feet.
You're talking about 130 feet.
130 feet down?
Yes.
So we need 3 lengths of this rope. And there are ways to tie it so that it doesn't fall apart.
Well, actually, it's 130 feet all the way down from up here. If we want to do the pulley idea that you had, we would need significantly a bit more rope.
We have an entire 20 feet of rope left over. Tim? If we tie the 3 lengths together, we got 150 feet. Which leaves us with, like, 20 feet left over.
Well,
and
also,
if we use Jason's weight, because, I mean, he's a...
True.
This man heavy. And then he kind of just kickstarts it to bring it back down to where we can actually pull it from. That it all winds up working out together.
Alright.
I think. Oh, good God, I think.
I was just thinking that we might need an extra 50 feet because we're going to be tying part of it around JSON and part of it around the device.
Right. Man, it would be really nice if we had our 4th party member with us instead of him being fucking off with birds.
Speaking of, Ralakan.
Yeah.
Around this time, you are just getting back to the construction site. After having having task failed successfully to hunt for fish.
Uh-huh.
And the foreman kind of notices you immediately. He very clearly recognizes you, because who wouldn't after seeing you once?
Yeah?
We're doing a little bit of fish profiling, okay?
Uh-huh.
We do a little fish profiling.
Yeah, kind of like all that human and blood bag profiling that went on last session.
Yeah. They're vampires.
Fucking vampires.
They're vampires, and they're assholes. I don't know what you want from me. However, the foreman does approach you, Ral. He goes, "Oi, you're with the kid, the robot, and the weird-looking one, right?"
Be very happy she's not around to hear you. Yes.
Yeah, she looked like she was about to send me to the 9 hells or something. But in any case, I just sent them in to get whatever they needed from when they left here. If you want to join them, you got about 15 minutes.
That's fair.
Just let them know after that the next crane's coming in to extract what's left of that device.
Alright.
And, Ral, perception check, please.
Perception check?
Yep.
Alrighty then. Don't fail me now. You have failed me now. Can I use my passive perception?
What is it?
It is higher than what I rolled, 16.
Yes, absolutely. Because this is something happening a bit in the background. As you guys are having this conversation, suddenly you can hear kind of like the panicked yell of another construction worker.
Uh-huh.
As well as a loud cacophony of high-pitched shrieks as a swarm of bats exits from one of the windows, nearly knocking a construction worker off of a scaffold. It immediately dives down towards ground level before beginning to sweep across the construction site. Will you interact with it? It is approaching your general vicinity. You could probably go with another bite to eat or something.
Look to the bird, look to the swarm, look to the bird, look back to the swarm, look at the form, and look up to the sky. I'm gonna move out the way.
Dang, not gonna knock an arrow? Okay.
It's a swarm of bats, and I have the aim of.
Look at the bird, look at the swarm, look at the bird, look at the swarm, look at the bird. The bird is gone. Where did it go?
What?
No, y'all continue. I'm gonna see if I can't fix this audio issue.
Might be Zoom. Did you join with audio?
I never join with audio. And
Hey,
it wouldn't pick
you know-
up twice. I'm the streamer.
Ah, yes, you're right. My B.
It might be OBS or something.
I will figure it out. Continue with
Okay.
session.
Ral, as it sweeps by, I will give you one more chance to make a perception check.
I literally rolled one higher than before, so that would be a 16 again. If I'm using passive. I rolled a 13 normal, and then a 6, and then a 14.
You swear you can see something glowing in the center of that swarm of bats. Something that looks definitely not like a bat.
You mind following that? As I said, I talked to the bird. This Allen wrench is the bird now.
The bird will immediately peck your temple before. Wow, where the fuck is your temple, man?
I don't know. I don't know what the temple is. I think is it here?
Oh my god, it's like that dimply bit. Like
Oh, that's literally I missed. So I literally missed.
like I said temple and he went to church. What did he do? And the bird will immediately.
I've been doing this throughout the session. I don't know how you didn't notice this.
That's my D8. The bird pecks your temple before immediately going to follow the swarm of bats.
Ow.
The swarm of bats seems to sort of take cover behind one of the larger pieces of construction equipment, which, given it is broad daylight, you find rather confusing, Ral. For about 10 seconds, before suddenly you hear a loud, "Son of a... Get off!"
Yeah?
And suddenly you see the bird flying back towards you, holding something.
Uh-huh.
It looks cylindrical, as well as not like something a smaller bird would be capable of carrying. Particularly when it falls into your hands, you're kind of just like, oh! It's not heavy enough that, like, you drop it, but it's heavy enough that, like, you were not expecting the bird to be carrying this.
I've read the bird book. I've read that falcons can sometimes yeet deer off of mountains.
You know that large enough falcons can lift them.
Well,
Several times.
At least they're not African swallows.
Or magpies.
In any case, this thing is cylindrical. A little bit wider than a football, you'd say about that wide. And about 1.5 feet long. It is glowing blue, and it is humming with energy.
I have to reevaluate. I have to reevaluate my name for you.
As you were kind of regarding this thing, whatever voice that was behind that piece of construction equipment immediately emerges.
Yeah?
They are uncharacteristically small. They look to be about 5'7", 5'8", something like that. But from the dress, you can almost certainly purport that they are a vampire.
I figure.
Glowing yellow eyes, not particularly happy, and bleeding from a rather deep puncture wound to the right temple.
Of this
You're gonna need a bird. Like, I know you need the Godzilla head, but you're gonna need a bird head at some point. Just the one. Even if it's a little one. It's like a little bird head to have like this.
Tim gets the puppet.
Oh yeah. Tim, get this man a patoo!
Oh man. So,
he is not happy with that bird. And the fact that the bird is now perched upon your shoulder again means he is, likewise, not very happy with you.
And this is my problem, why?
Because
Because
very
he is now
clearly your
approaching you.
bird.
No, like I said before, the bird is a parasite and it has chosen me as its host. And now he's approaching me, well, now I get to beat the shit out of him.
I don't think that's how it works, but you can try.
Okay.
Okay. The man
Yeah.
kind of approaches you. It's like, I've had a very long day. I've been hunted by God knows who, all over this godforsaken island, and that godforsaken island. He points vaguely in the area of Old Manhattan.
Yeah.
Looking for that thing. He points at the thing in your hands.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to give it to me now. Or I will have to subject you to a slow and painful death. Perhaps undeath. It's been a while since I've had a thrall that was a fish.
I give him the vampire smile.
Oh.
That moment when he realizes he done fucked up.
Like, it's a little bit of the, like, fish are friends, not food from Finding Nemo, but the eyes are yellow.
So, here's what's gonna actually happen. You're gonna go, before I send my bird on you. Hold on a second.
We love when family interrupts appropriately tense moments. This has happened before, just not with Spaz.
You're going to go before I send my bird on you. Only this time, I am going to be hitting you with the bird. And I have a pointy stick. As I pick up my quiver with a bunch of arrows.
Likewise, he unbuttons his trench coat, revealing several bandoliers of throwing knives.
Ooh, on a trade?
That cannot be comfortable.
Okay, I'm honestly just... Okay, real talk? We're gonna sit down now and talk about your fashion statement right there, because comfort is more important than doing anything cool like that. 'Cause you...
Where did you get off
Professor.
talking about that? Hello?
Also, you know what? Fucking...
Like, what if he falls over? What if someone bumps into him and then he just got lacerated stomach because someone bumped into him with a bunch of throwing knives? in
Okay,
his chest?
first off,
Thank you, Waffle.
they have sheaths.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say.
not like they're just free balling it in there. It's not like he's going throwing knife commando. Like, it's not,
Please, it's not like he's going throwing knife commando.
It's still gonna hurt.
what's gonna hurt? What point? What jab?
Have you been jabbed with the sheath before?
He's a vampire. He'll be fine.
Touche.
Also, this is fantasy. Why are you trying to make so much sense out of this? Stop it.
I'm a fish. You're a good point.
Like,
God.
you are an unholy abomination by IRL standards, so I would like you to cease.
Jesus Christ, just let people have their belts and loops and trench coats. Let people wear their S&M gear with pride.
And
Oh my god.
that's gotta be one of my favorites. I'm a fish moments. I'm a fish. Good point.
Point. Man's walking around looking like a walking Benihana to a fish man. Oh. Oh.
And then said Fishman's like, we need to talk about your fashion sense, and Heath's just like, what?
Okay.
This man's got knives like Professor Crowder's fucking rare Yu-Gi-Oh card collection in GX. They're just in there.
Ew.
Oh, don't worry. He looks nowhere near as ugly. Don't worry.
Oh, thank God. And then
Yeah, no, this is very clearly somebody who was turned a vampire young. He does not look like he could possibly be older than his early 20s.
then I'm gonna point to the very angry foreman. Who almost had one of his workers killed by this guy.
You mind explaining to me what the hell you were doing in there unsupervised? Oh, well, very simple. I was nicking a particular bounty from inside that place. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to deliver it so that I can get paid. The foreman kind of, like, cocks an eyebrow a little bit. However, the foreman is, as he is currently in the course of his duties, unfortunately unarmed. He's got a wrench set and like a box cutter.
I can give him a dagger.
I mean, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I mean, if anything, that is still just a dagger and a club.
Mm-hmm.
Waffle, that is such
Yeah.
low-hanging fruit. I shouldn't have laughed at it. I shouldn't have laughed at it.
Gotta call a 5-man.
Time to call the 5-man. God damn it. Mike, get your son.
And Tim has died
Oh,
on the
yeah.
inside.
Ross.exe has stopped working. Would you like to email Windows Vista a solution?
Good job,
Now
Alex.
Spaz
You
is
killed
dead.
half of the party. This is payback for all the psychic damage that Spaz.
Hey!
Stan! No!
You really did it.
The
You
camera's
sent him to the Shadow Realm.
The camera's just frozen. I think he accidentally unplugged his PC.
Oh.
Because that is frozen in the process of falling. There he goes.
No! Oh, no!
Thank you, Decca.
You Becca.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh.
Well, hopefully Spaz comes out and this is not how we leave him on his last session of the night.
I laughed so hard I fell and crashed my computer. I got you with a D10, Waffle. Hang on. I got you right now. That's a 3. Oh, Lord.
I'm coming back on soon. I'm very sorry about that. This is the first time that has happened ever in my life.
You
Oh,
laughed so
God.
hard you fell over and crashed your PC. Spaz, can
That's
I just
impressive.
say that
That's-
I am so fucking proud of you. So proud. I am.
Oh, Decca, you missed the worst. You missed Spaz laughing so hard he fell out of his chair and crashed his own computer. Like, sorry, Decca, but I need you to make another clip. Oh, Lord.
Oh, dear.
Don't forget, Maddie, you can move the cameras around.
Yeah, I'm working on it, Alex. I'm aware.
No, I just remembered something.
Say it
Oh,
every
God.
week. I love you, Spaz.
I am nothing if not committed.
You did not do that on purpose.
Partially on purpose. I meant to do the whole I'm falling out of my chair as a bit. Then I actually fell out of my chair because I was laughing too hard. And then everything went to shit.
Method acting. Jesus Christ, it's not even been an hour.
Oh god, I'm sorry that you have to do all this extra work.
It's done.
Oh, thank you, Decca. Thank you so much. Oh, God.
I would like to say, for the record, so that everyone knows I am stone sober.
You know, nobody would have questioned it until you said it,
I'm gonna
and
press
now
X
I'm
to
questioning it. Like, fam?
You had to say it, and now I am pressing X to doubt.
Party appreciation.
Venolin's got to do party appreciation.
We will hold on to that till after session.
Ooh, okay.
I will not forget, because I'm the one in charge of stream.
Fair enough. Anyways, Ralakan, you are still in this will they, won't they knife measuring contest with this mysterious vampire.
Right. I totally didn't forget about that. Let me just get my character sheet up again. I'm dizzy. I haven't laughed that hard all month.
I'm glad to help. God, I thought we lost you. I called you Kristen.
Yeah, that's how you know he cares. Alright, let's take a... Let the record show... Yes! Let the record show to everyone on the stream and everyone in chat, I am a fish.
Could just threaten to sick your apparent blood bag on him.
You know, because this is so in line with me, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna point up to the sky really quick, look over there. And try to get him to look.
Quick, look, a distraction.
Exactly that.
You say quick look, a distraction, and the bird immediately starts flying at him again.
This is a fucking polymorph druid. I'm calling it. This is a polymorph druid who understands everything that Spaz is saying. He understands every word out of Ralakan's mouth and hasn't responded or given any sort of indication otherwise, because it is more funny to watch this vampire struggle against a bird.
Now that he's distracted, what are you doing? You running inside?
I'm gonna cast Ensnaring Strike, and then I'm gonna run inside. So, Ensnaring Strike, shoot him, run inside.
Shoot him. I'll give you advantage.
Oh, thank God. Alright.
Yeah, you have an ally within 5 feet.
So that is 24 and 26. So
that's it.
He'll take 6 points of damage from the arrow, and he needs to succeed a strength save of 14.
Goddamn, he rolled terrible. He fails.
Well, now he's in a bunch of thorns and takes an additional 7 damage.
As well as 6 points of damage from the bird pecking at him. And the moment he is fully restrained, the bird returns to your shoulder as you run inside. Venolin, you are about 2/3 of the way down, rappelling towards the control panel, when you see somebody suddenly running through the mezzanine doors.
Is it a familiar vampiric sort of shape that also definitely is a fish man?
Yes.
She's just gonna kind of stop where she is and watch him. And then, because I am 90% sure I have them, hold on, please.
You're gonna throw a brick at him.
No. Oh, I actually don't. Well, okay. You know what? I'm gonna pull out the bell that is... No, I do. Haha. I'm gonna pull out a single ball bearing and I'm going to just fucking huck it at him to get his attention.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it.
Ow!
Yeah, you kind of just like look left, look right, and then something hits you in the side of your head. You think it's the bird, but the bird's on the other shoulder.
What the hell are you doing up there?
No,
Did you find the thing?
I don't think you get to ask me that. Where the fuck have you been?
Eating!
And you didn't think to let the rest of us know? You just fucking disappeared.
I let you know! I told you I was going to look for food!
He did say
Give me
this.
something?
I need to start paying more attention.
Clearly!
No, I just tuned your
Did you
voice out specifically. I'm gonna need to start paying more attention. And yes, we found the thing. Why were you running?
'Cause there's a guy looking for this. As I hold up the other thing.
Is that the thing we're looking for, Alex?
You are quite confident it is in the description Alzin gave you.
I saw this coming from a mile away when he gave it to me.
Venelin, what's your passive perception?
Dog shit. It's 11.
Just roll for me, if you don't mind.
Not at all. Can we just say that I'm not, like, she's not happy. She was like fucking coming up with this really decent plan to do this fucking whole thing going down. That's a
You know
dirty
what? I'm not
20.
even gonna...
It's a dirty
You know
20.
what? Fuck it. Beautiful. You look down at the side of the control panel, and you can see that the panel door that would have held the core seems to have been scratched open by a large number of different claws. And harkening back, you're pretty sure it was the swarm of bats earlier, from what you heard from Ral.
She's just gonna look up. Would you guys mind pulling me up, please, and then we can get out of here?
Understood.
Thank
You're
you.
not a boss.
She's grumbling the entire time about, I had a fucking plan. I am gonna...
This is the second time I've ruined someone's plan.
Wasn't it mine last time too?
I'm thinking of a completely different game entirely.
Oh yeah, no! He's thinking of Corona City!
Yes, his plan. That almost fucked Arcus's plan.
No.
No!
Oh, you mean
Another
your-
completely different!
Your run
This
through.
is an
Gotcha.
alternate
Okay.
timeline.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. I'm talking to somebody who's from your alternate timeline, dear.
In every timeline, Dogar fucks up somebody's plans.
No. None of this planning business. We're just going to run in head first, screaming. In any case. Wait. Well, the party's back together. Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes. party is back together.
Wonderful. It seems you found the power core. How did you manage to get this?
You can see him slow. Venlin, as you teleport back to the mezzanine. Oh, hello.
Ignore that again.
As you-
It's just doing it as
As you teleport back to the mezzanine, from the light outside seems to be illuminating a single silhouette coming through the main doors.
I am very unhappy with this thing.
Venolin is going to
As
step
you
up
could-
next to Ralakan. She's going to pick up her ball bearing off of the floor. So, that's either going to be the foreman, or whoever the fuck you took that from. Also, we're going to talk about the bird later.
He's got a bird now?
Yes, Crossy has a bird now. And we're going to talk about it later, because I feel like this guy is about to try and wreck our fucking day.
Yeah, I hit him with an ensnaring strike, so he should still be wrapped up in a bunch of very pointy thorns.
So this could very well be the foreman then.
No, not the foreman. Different guy entirely.
This is the guy that you caught up in the ensnaring strike.
This is not the guy I caught up in the ensnaring strike. This is just a bird.
This is definitely the guy you caught up in the ensnaring strike.
We are not
Oh,
talking about
This
the
is just
fucking
a-
bird right now!
Legitimately, I'm...
No, it's okay. Yeah, no. She was just like, we're going to talk about the bird later, and then immediately turned her attention back to the figure that's walking towards us.
Oh, then, yeah, most likely, probably.
Okay. Well then.
If it makes you feel any better, he's a vampire, so you can kill him good.
I'm still under orders to clean up the mess around here. Would you like me to terminate this individual?
Well,
Please and thank you.
since that would be a definition of taking out the trash, yes.
Maybe we should try to figure out why he wants the power device, because
It's a bounty.
maybe find out who wants it, so this way we know who to look out for.
Be useful.
Okay. And Venolin is just going to lean against something, hands on her weapons, as this figure, I'm assuming, is still approaching us.
And he kind of comes into view, and you also kind of manage to give him a once-over. He looks to be about 5'8", 5'9", and very young. If he is a vampire, you don't think he could have been turned any later than his early 20s. He could even be younger. You're not entirely sure.
Sure.
However, he looks at the rest of the party and is kind of casual until he sees you. And there's a bit of, not fear, but just general disdain in his expression. Like, oh, you. I've been avoiding you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have we met?
Thankfully, not until now.
No. Well, that's just disappointing. I'm a lovely individual if you get to know me.
This is true.
I have friends that would suggest otherwise were they still alive.
Oh, you must be friends with, oh god, was her name Cassidy?
Yes, her name's Cassidy.
Oh, you must have been friends with Cassidy then.
More of a side piece, honestly. However,
Oh, jilted lover. I am so sorry. But she did swing first. I was only defending myself. And sorry, but I don't just roll over and let people have their way. Not really
In
my
any case,
style.
I've been tasked to recover that particular power core on behalf of an individual I believe you may have met. A quite prodigious power magnate over in old Manhattan by the name of Jason Apollo.
Oh, well, why? You wouldn't happen to know why he wants it, would you? You see, Mr. Apollo and I go way back.
Well, in the absence of a significant power in old Manhattan, and especially given the surprising lack of vampire troops in the region since the fall of New Manhattan, he's somewhat seized a lot of territory, if I do say so myself, and he's seeming to be trying to establish quite the base of operations at the Hudson Yards where Alzan once made his home.
Well, it's fantastic to hear he's doing well for himself. However, I am a little bit surprised he's working with your kind.
He works with whoever he can find convenient, and unfortunately, I am one of them.
So, Jason Apollo wants it. It's for a power grab of some kind. What could he possibly need a power cell such as this for? I will admit it's been a while since I've been there. Maybe he's gotten something new, an old age technology or some such.
I'm not usually the one asking the questions when I'm nicking something. I'm usually just the one nicking it.
Well, now that's just unfortunate because you would be unfortunately nicking it from us, and I don't particularly like when people take our things.
I'm pretty sure it was Vedran's thing before you blew it up.
Well, I mean, it was that or let Alzan into the city, so...
Not so bad on my end, honestly.
No, of course not. And of course, you would get your revenge and jilted lover and all of that. It writes itself, honestly. I get it. I do. But, you are unfortunately going to be disappointed, and you are leaving without this item. And I'm not saying that just to be, cocky or self-assured. You know who I am, and you know what I am capable of. And you've seen what I can do alone. Now imagine what I can do with 3 people at my back, all of whom are potentially more powerful than I am. I just know how to make sure you all stay dead.
Unfortunately for you, if there's anything I have learned during my travels, it's to know when I'm outnumbered. So I believe I will be taking my leave.
Smart man. Do let Mr. Apollo know that it was due to us and not through any sort of failing of your own. He is well aware of what I am capable of. And hopefully...
Oh yes, and I'm sure he's going to be absolutely ecstatic with you when he finds out.
Oh, I'm sure he will be, but that is a problem for another day. And as flattered as I am that you're even remotely concerned about my well-being, I can handle myself.
He kind of gives you a very soft bow before buttoning his trench coat back up and beginning to take his leave from the Colosseum. The moment he is out the door, he transforms into a swarm of bats and takes off.
I really think we should have just killed him. Instead of just letting him leave like that.
Vendelin is
saying.
gonna swing her head over to look at Cross. Were you not the one who just suggested that we do this through talking?
No, I suggested that we find out who he was working for, then we kill him.
We can get this done before Jason Apollo shows up. He can't move that fast. Especially not without that.
Yeah.
So let's get a move on.
Yep.
Understood. Jason will grab a wheelbarrow and start cleaning.
You guys kind of make like you're busy, with the exception of Jason, who actually does his fucking job, for about 10 minutes before the foreman barges in. It's like, was that weird-ass vampire with you?
Nope.
No, sir.
No.
And he kind of looks at each of you, narrows his eyes a little bit. If you don't mind, we're going to be extracting the rest of the device in a minute.
We got what we came for.
I hope so. And he kind of stands next to the door, as though waiting for you guys to take your leave.
Which we do. Promptly.
Onward.
The road trip back is silent for about 15 minutes. Until Venelin looks to her right, regards the creature on Ralakan's left shoulder, and decides that now is probably as good a time as any to discuss the avian in the room.
So, the bird.
Yeah.
Do they have a name?
Not yet. But considering how he's been assisting me. Ow! I've decided. Chad.
You know what? Okay.
The moment you say the name Chad, it pecks you again.
Do you mind?
Or
do you have another name that you would like to refer to yourself as?
That is a bird, Ralakan. Do you really...
It has feelings.
Do you think it understands you?
Yes.
You need to start remembering to feed more often.
Well, good news is, animal works just fine. It's gonna stay away from fish. Lots of metal in the fish.
Right, you're sure it's not because of the potential cannibalism?
Fish eat fish all the time.
Sure, but that's not what I asked.
No. Besides, I was modeled after a predfish, so I'm carnivorous by nature, I guess?
Okay, fair enough. So, you found a bird while you were off trying to feed.
It found me.
Uh-huh. I would love to hear the story of how you, a well-known avian hater, found a bird and are now keeping it as a pet.
No. It is not I am not keeping it as a pet. It is living on my shoulder and it is mocking me! I said what I said!
Cross is going to crush up one of his rations and feed the bird.
Oh my god, this is fucking Eagly from Peacemaker. Oh no! Oh no, Relicant's Peacemaker!
Well, that explains why you can't see him.
Now, I'm to roll 2d8 psychic.
This is it. This is how the party starts getting fucking psychic damage. Oh my oh my god, that makes me vigilante.
I'm dead! You okay, Tim?
Okay. I was prepared for a lot of things tonight.
But a John Cena joke in 2022 wasn't one of them.
Mm-mm.
Stay hydrated.
Okay. How does the bird respond to the food that I'm trying to give it?
You kind of reach the ration out towards Ral's shoulder, and the bird immediately turns around and starts pecking at it. And he seems very receptive. As he's continuing to peck at it a bit, once he's kind of quote-unquote done with it for now, he kind of nuzzles his head a little bit against your finger.
Aww. Ross will give a soft smile and just gently stroke it for a second, before leaning back in his seat.
It seems to enjoy that, before immediately turning around and pecking Ralikan again.
Ah, why?
So, story. Come on. How did you find the bird?
Alright, fishing. Having some trouble with the water because Lamea water. Vampire. Struggling a little bit. And as I'm just fishing, and I catch this bass, I miss. He didn't. He let me eat it. So I tried again. Because now it's personal. I go for it again. I'm not having a good day. I miss again. Catch another bass. Plops itself on my shoulder. And now it will leave. You know I hate you, right? Ow!
Sounds like he was just trying to help. As you can see Jason's head extend Go-Go Gadget to your window.
What kind of bird is it?
You know, it's been a while since I've read my book. I can't remember. But it does look like a top bird of prey. I think it's a falcon.
It does not peck you at being called a falcon.
I'm having way too much fun with this.
You're getting more use out of this Allen wrench now than when you built the fucking chair.
Pretty much.
So, this bird appeared on your shoulder and hasn't left.
No.
Okay.
No, he hasn't.
And you don't find that strange at all?
I find it very annoying.
But not strange.
I am a fish.
And
I should not be walking, talking, being a vampire, flying, shooting, or making bombs. Eventually, we're gonna put one into a gas station and laugh as it goes boom.
Yes.
Wait,
you're
what?
Speaking
close
of,
again.
you guys are about to get a bit close to that vicinity. Do you want to stop there?
No,
Yeah, we wanna
gotta-
stop and refill.
No, we're gonna. No, we don't. No, we don't. Do not need to stop at this gas station. We are plenty full on gas, and we are going to continue to go to Alzen to get this dealt with.
Ah, fine. Just gonna toss out a rock that I've written a boom on and just leave.
Fucking drive-by explosions.
If you see something, say something. Spaz has ridden the subway enough times to know what happens when you drop something that says boom in Brooklyn.
Yes.
In any case, Ral,
Yeah.
roll me an animal handling check.
That's an 11.
Right down the middle. You're getting pecked.
Ow! Really? We need some boundaries over here, okay? This, no. Do not peck. I kind of need the face, okay? Declaw you. That was a joke.
Here, let me try. Come on back here, Falcon. There's a bit more room back here. Cross will try to, coerce the Falcon to sit in the back. Instead of up on Ralph's shoulder, pecking him.
Falcon looks at Ral, then back at the empty seat, and kind of gently flies over to the empty seat, perching itself there.
Cross will gently pet it.
It seems very amenable to being pet. Why am I G all of a sudden?
There we go.
Venelin, would you like to roll through the car CD player one more time?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Actually, no. You were going through the radio last time. So roll me a D100.
$58.
That station that was playing Metallica seems to be down right now. So you start kind of like scrolling through for a bit. And eventually you find a shortwave transmission seemingly coming from New Manhattan. That is essentially just an explanation of the events of the last couple of months. You're pretty sure it's being announced by V6.
Okay.
Who is explaining the events that occurred in New Manhattan that led to its fall. He does not mention any of you by name, though he does specifically invite any who wish to come to New Manhattan, as he declares the island a neutral party. He does not want to see more conflict in the streets of New Manhattan, especially after the fight with Vedran.
Okay.
I approve of Neo Switzerland.
I'll be right back.
Not a problemo.
Well, that's nice. The fact that, we're not technically enemies of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Comforting, in a way.
For now.
True.
He does, while not referring to you by name, speak of your role as a heroic one. He does hold you guys positively.
Oh.
Yay.
Soon enough, the sun starts to set. And Venlin, you kind of like dust off the car's clock for a bit to see that it's 8 o'clock. This might be a good time to indulge the words of SpongeBob SquarePants and fucking floor it.
All right. Well, then that's what we're gonna do.
And you can give me a dexterity check.
Just a straight dex check.
You can add your proficiency bonus to it.
Okay. Well, I'm real glad you let me do that, but I have a feeling it's not gonna make a difference.
What do we got?
Well, I rolled a 2, so 7 plus 4
Is
is
11.
So that means that we end up going to a convenience store, right? A 7-Eleven?
Nice, Tim.
I'm sorry.
Hang on. Nope. What is that? Oh, I hate it here. You immediately start trying to speed up, trying to get back where you need to go as fast as humanly possible. Eventually, you can find yourself back in that familiar territory on the island, near where you know you need to start heading north. before you can head further east. Sorry, heading south before you can start heading further east.
Sure.
And as you begin to head south, you're starting to get a bit worried that you might not make it to town on time. It's getting to around that 8:30 mark, and while you guys are relatively close, you're not 100% sure how close you're going to cut it. Make me one more dex check.
Uh, 16.
Finally, within the last couple of minutes, the walls are in sight. And as you approach, it looks like the guards were just getting ready to start closing up shop a bit early. You check the time. It's 8:56. They're not supposed to be closing this soon. And they kind of look at you with a bit of not disdain. They don't have any disdain for you in particular, but the fact that they have to reopen the gate enough to let your car through, not fun. However, they do so.
I don't know, man. Maybe do your job and don't close early, and then you wouldn't have to redo this shit. It's not like I'm coming into a restaurant after, at the end of the night and ordering a 21-ounce steak well done. All you had to do was leave the doors open.
You guys have made it back to Montefiore. You guys know where you need to go. You guys know what you need to do. You guys head straight to the armory to go see Allison. The armory looks to be in between shift changes at the moment. So for a brief period of time, there is no one here to greet you as you enter the armory.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's not ominous at all.
Nope.
Got my bow out.
Or rather, it is what you believe until you get down to the bottom of the armory. Allison is kind of leaned back in his chair and is almost deathly still. He is not moving. And you can see quite the large stain of blood splattered across his shirt.
Oh,
Allison, are you still with us? We have arrived.
Alex,
Yes.
given my profound knowledge of the vampiric species, would I know that perhaps feeding him blood might revitalize him? assuming that he hasn't been dead for too long.
You believe that provided he was not killed with something the likes of a holy weapon or a silvered weapon, then yes, it is very likely that you could do so.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do so.
You pull out a vial of blood. And the moment you bring it close enough to his face to be able to smell it, he suddenly just get that away from me right now, please.
Well, you look like you've been injured. Are you sure you don't want it to...
I am 190% fine. I ate a bit too much.
Okay. Well, in that case, she puts it away. As instructed.
It then occurs to you, Venelin, that, he seems to be wearing a guardsman's uniform.
What did you do?
Same thing most vampires who haven't eaten in 3 weeks would do.
Yep.
They starve me down here. But literally, I'm not trying to be facetious or exaggerate here.
No, I'm aware of what they do to you down here.
They feed me your people's food. The gods come down here and try to torture me while I'm trying to help them. Well, help them. But enough, did you, did you get what I asked?
Yes. Just answer me one question. One more, and then we'll put it behind us for now. How many did you fucking eat?
There's this one who just happened to fit me. There was his friend, because there were 2. I didn't want to wait for the shift change. Yeah, I think it was just the 2.
Okay. Okay. Now, we've brought the thing you asked for. So, if we can, get on with it.
Beautiful. Whichever one of you has it, just, you'll see a panel in the back of the controller. Just place the core in there. And it should begin to operate at full capacity quite shortly. From there, Jason, I'm going to need your help.
Understood. What would you like to help with?
Your earlier models were able to function somewhat as a suit of armor. Would you be able to temporarily hollow out that skull of yours for a bit?
I'm sure I can disassemble my exoskeleton.
Ross, roll me a history check.
Oh, me?
Yeah, history check, please.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Something about what Alzin is describing sounds familiar to you, but you're not sure from where or in what way.
Alison, could you elaborate for a second on what you meant by that?
Well, once the device is powered up, I'm going to need some kind of apparatus to sort of hook myself into so that I can pinpoint the location of where it is we're going to be going. Given that it is a stolen city, there is a high probability it might have moved from its original location, with Sanguine wanting to conceal his throne world and such.
Right. Okay.
You can roll me another history check, this time at advantage.
Okay.
Ah, I like your choice of dice. Much better.
So what do I recall?
You recall that Veterans Command Center down in the basement of Grand Central Station had a similar apparatus that utilized a helmet to be able to sort of like project images not only in front of one's eyes, but also into one's mind. As such, you're pretty sure what he's trying to do is see if he can mentally pinpoint the location of where you guys need to go so that he can factor it into the teleporter.
I see.
Would I be able to take my head off without compromising too many of my internals?
What was that, Lucas?
Would I be able to take my head off without compromising too much of my internals?
He's less asking you to take your head off and more just take the stuff out of it so that he can wear it for a little bit. And you will be blind while this goes on, but yes, you can do this.
Well, just first allow me to disable my vision, and we shall be good to go.
Alison, I don't mean to question stuff that I really don't know a lot about, but doesn't plugging your brain into a computer a very dangerous thing?
Well, I helped Veteran design the one that's in his command center. This one's just significantly more simplified and less safeguarded. Worst case, maybe the electricity will help me kill this hangover.
And Cross takes a very good, at least an equal distance amount of himself from whatever the hell this is gonna be. Right, Hen?
Jason has hollowed out his head and is standing perfectly still, as he is not as adept as at walking blindly as Cross is. Hopefully this is not too heavy for you.
Elzen takes your fingered hand and places it on a pad on the control panel to allow you to interface with it. And then gently removes your hollowed out head, still keeping the whole Go-Go Gadget Extendo Neki thing attached. It's been a while since I've worn one of these. Forgive me if I'm a bit rusty. And he places the helmet along his head and immediately gasps as the images are projected into his mind. Ross, I need a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Ross, the moment that helmet goes on his head, you can see something in your mind's eye. An image flashes before your eyes of a huge castle. The castle seems to span several blocks, much larger than Veterans, with a looming clock tower hanging on the horizon. It looks beyond the strange older architecture surrounding the castle, quite similar to where you spent much of your time in New Manhattan. However, as you look upon the clock tower, the hours and the minutes and the hands that they tell slowly begin to fade from your sight. As you lay your eyes upon it, the clock tower lays an eye upon you. You can immediately hear a low rumbling growl as the eye that was once the clock face of this tower begins to stare directly into you. Jason. These images aren't going through your ocular sensors. However, your system is still able to pick them up. So you will be able to see them afterwards.
Okay.
However, your immediate concern goes towards your chest plate, where you can hear something rattling around in there. You haven't had too many screws loose in quite some time, since you were fully repaired. So, slightly opening your chassis finds the ring attempting to fly off from around your neck.
That is rather unfortunate.
And I need perception checks from Ven and Ral.
Sorry, did you say Venelin?
Yes.
Yes.
These are all of us, yeah.
Sorry, was it a save? I apologize.
Perception.
Perception check.
check.
Click. 17.
Hey, both of y'all are fine. Both of you can hear a cacophony of howls and shrieks and snarls coming from just outside the walls. This is all happening within moments of Alzin putting on that helmet.
Oh no, I lost the Allen wrench!
Alzin, how long is this gonna take you?
I can see it. I just need to... I need to pinpoint it. Give me some time. It shouldn't take long.
Yeah, for fuck's sakes. Ralakan, we better go help the fucking people. Cross, how are you feeling? Can you assist?
Cross isn't here right now. Would you like to leave a message?
This party is falling apart.
Yep, we're down 2 people.
Okay, Ralakan, we're gonna go defend this place. We're gonna come back and deal with this all later. And hope to God we're not gonna die doing it.
Yeah. Average Tuesday for us.
Yep. And, she is going to lead Ralakan out to help the guards, since they're now technically down 2 men.
You can see the guards scrambling towards the walls. Particularly with your proximity to the ocean, you can see several of them heading to reinforce the beach, just in case. And you guys head to the roof. Ral, you can see almost immediately that there is a horde of thrall on fast approach to the colony walls.
Venelin is going to speak up, and she is just going to start directing the guards. Followed up by, if you're not going to listen to me, a seasoned hunter of the night, you are going to doom everybody in this settlement to death.
Yeah, they're listening to you.
Good. She starts calling for any high-level spellcasters that could possibly cast daylight, or something along the lines that would create a bright enough light to mimic it. So basically, if there are floodlights around this place, throw them on. She also instructs them that if they have any holy water, now is the time to coat your weapons in it, specifically any ranged weapons, arrows, and the like. Make your shots count. You are not going to have many of them. The moment that they start climbing, you are going to douse the walls in oil of any kind, be it, machine oil or what. Venelin just starts going on about how they are going to defend this settlement at the walls. And as much as I hate doing this, she is going to send Ralakan to the beach. We are going to split the party even more, and she is going to send Ralakan to the beach to reinforce the people there, because if something is coming out of the water, he is going to be the one most capable of dealing with it.
Fly.
Ral, you head to the beach. The guards seem to be posted up rather well at the beach, seeing as there really ain't too much to defend other than the armory. Though there are significantly fewer troops here, given the propensity for vampires to not cross running water.
So I'm going to let you know that there's a big fucking horde coming to main base, and that we can either hunker down over here and make sure that there's nothing else coming from the water, or bring reinforcements to the main wall.
You start delegating, and the troops start making decisions on whether or not they want to hunker down here or reinforce the main wall. When Ral, you hear what sounds like a boat engine. A singular boat engine.
Get on the walls! Get on the walls now!
The boat gently pulls up to the shoreline and beaches,
Got my arrows.
where 4 individuals disembark from the boat. Individuals whom you recognize. One, you just finished getting into a pissing contest with.
Oh, we should have killed this man. Cross was right.
The other 3 are earth, wind, and fire.
Ah, crap, he's about to take us to Boogie Wonderland.
Oh.
So, how can I assist you today?
I think the better question might be, how can we assist you?
Excuse you?
Well, whatever mess you've gotten yourself into has quite the horde of vampires clawing at the walls for any chance to tear to shreds any living thing in this place. And why you'd give 2 shits about a bunch of blood bags escapes me. If you want to see them live, you might need my help, or rather, the help of one Jason Apollo, whose power source you so fastidiously nicked from the Barclay Coliseum.
Hopefully it will remain intact and we can return it to the appropriate owner, one Jason Apollo, once we are finished our need of it. I could be trying to convince my companions to help in that endeavor.
You mean to tell me that a ruthless vampire hunter friend of yours is going to just give me that power core?
How can you lie?
And you expect me to take that on faith in exchange for saving your meager little colony from a horde of vampire thralls?
Well, it's either that or the whole rock goes boom.
What do you mean, the whole rock goes boom?
Oh no.
It is at this point where Ral is at a crossroads. Does he open his mouth and let them know what shit is happening?
I mean,
Or does he continue to bullshit his way through this?
Does he tell them, we're looking to kill the first vampire ever created? Stop him from taking over the world.
Yeah. We're trying to punch God.
I don't think that was the appropriate response.
No, it's fine. It's great.
But, okay.
No, that's how you do it.
We are trying to punch God, ladies and gentlemen.
For the very short of it, that. Tim's gone.
Tim's gone.
Man, Alex, I really think you probably should have sent these guys to me at the wall instead of Ralakan at the beach.
Ye warm Medina.
Yeah. Have I lost chair privileges? Do I need to sit on the bed now?
No, I'm not going to make you get off of your chair lest it disconnect your internet. But for all I know, you've got your chair hooked up to your Ethernet switch at this point. But
I don't know, I could check.
I swear to God, if he unplugged his fucking LAN cable right there, I'd have killed something. I'd have had to kill Ralakan right there. That'd be a nice cap to this. Just this dude just pulls out a knife and faster than Ralakan blink. Just boom. No. So if I were to send one of my subordinates to meet with your friend, and she agreed to these terms, then you will have our help.
And in the event that she does not agree,
Then I will bid you adieu, good luck, and when the bones of this colony bleach under the sun, then I will come into that armory and I will take what I need.
I mean, good luck with that final effort, but, let's go stop some evil vampires that are not nice people like you guys, shall we? Let's go.
And he immediately murmurs something to Wind, who then picks up something with an antenna and speaks into it for a moment. Then you take the car and just head to the walls. You start delegating, and Commander Hector seems a bit put off until he immediately recognizes your hunting acumen and decides to defer to you for now. Given his wife's status as the head of this place, you have a feeling he's used to deferring to women.
Well,
However,
that's good.
that is quickly interrupted as you go to ask him something about the status of of how many troops he has left that aren't directly stationed, to find that he is no longer here.
Oh no.
Okay.
There are oh, wonderful. there are 2 women and 1 man on the far end of this wall who are dressed not in guardsmen's uniforms at all, but rather in would look a bit like business suits.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be Venelin, correct?
Yes. What's it to you?
Jason Apollo has a proposition.
Well, you're going to have to speak while I direct troops.
We have reinforcements and weaponry that may be able to assist with the defense of this colony.
But
I believe you already know what it is that Mr. Apollo wants.
I'm aware of what he wants. I am also aware that he does not typically care to be disappointed. However, this time he is just going to have to settle for being disappointed. And while it doesn't surprise me, I can't believe you are going to sacrifice innocent lives just for a power source that you could probably find somewhere else. But I have no quarrel with Mr. Apollo. Matter of fact, I rather like the man. He has been quite good to me in the past. I see no reason to be getting on his bad side, and I wouldn't if it wasn't of great importance. I don't fuck around with things like this. So please, tell me what it is that your proposition is. And I will, decide if it is something I'm willing to capitulate to. Because if you think I can't hold this town with the forces I have, you don't know who I am.
Ice Flux, please.
You sent them to talk to me without you!
I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go with. I'll be perfectly honest.
Then why didn't you?
I thought I mentioned that. I said, let's go to the wall to stop some evil vampire people that are certainly not you guys because you were very nice. I said that. I did.
Wind got on the comms with some people.
Who were probably already lying in wait.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for the go-ahead.
I didn't realize that that's what's going to happen.
The man speaking to Venelin kind of backs off at he's just going to have to remain disappointed before one of the women picks up another of those strange boxes with an antenna and kind of listens to it for a moment.
Panic, 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 panic!
She kind of steps forward And there's, pardon me, ma'am, but it appears that one of your compatriots has already agreed to our terms.
Did he now?
Yes, 3 of our subordinates are coming to deposit him here as we speak.
Well, then I guess we'll be waiting for him to arrive now, won't we? If you'll excuse me. And then she's going to turn and continue giving orders for a moment in regards, to shore up places that are looking weak, etc., before she turns her attention back to them. To be fair, she did warn them she would have to do that, so. And then she waits, patiently, for whomsoever it was that was coming to talk to her, and whoever it was from the party, although she's 99% sure she knows who it was that has agreed to the terms.
It was the bird.
You cannot blame this on the bird.
Val, as you guys get to the shoreline overlooking the walls, the vampire immediately kind of grabs you by the back of your shirt. And the next thing you know, you are being lifted up by a swarm of bats.
Oh! Okay! This is a thing!
Who immediately fly you along the wall before dropping you on the ground in front of Venelin and landing opposite you.
I'm okay! I'm fine!
Apologies, Michael, Glenn, Pat. Took me a bit longer.
You had people here already?!
You agreed to their terms?
I was hoping that we could just talk before things got said and we could communicate better. The terms are specifically, we use it first. We do whatever we need to get done with it, and then Apollo has it. We need all the help that we can get.
You told them why we needed it, didn't you?
No.
Didn't you?
His exact words were, "Everyone on this rock goes boom."
Ah. So you were reenacting the scene at the barricade. I'm so proud of you, and I'm 90% sure that reference just went over your head. And she just kind of pats his shoulder a little bit. For those who have seen Les Mis, it is Marius at the barricade threatening to take the soldiers and himself with a fucking barrel of gunpowder.
Let's go with that.
Yep. And she sighs like she's already tired. So, he has promised that we will turn it over once we have finished our use of it. And then Jason Apollo gets whatever's left. Which, there should be enough of a charge, and based on the magics that I know that he has there in his base of operations, he should be able to recharge it to the point that he needs. After all, a battery like that isn't one that just goes out. So, I can agree to these terms. But you don't get it until after we're done. That is non-negotiable.
The 3 kind of discuss amongst themselves briefly. Before the vampire identified as Pat kind of steps forward once again and goes, The terms are acceptable. Earth, Wind, and Fire will be standing by near the armory.
Very well. You wouldn't happen to know who these thrall belong to, would you?
Frankly, this many could be everyone, or no one, or just one.
Wow, that was cryptically unhelpful.
Well, your friend did also mention trying to punch God.
I kind of freeze at the mention of that.
Yes, that might very well be our intention.
You realize how phenomenally stupid of an idea that is, correct?
You realize we have somebody who has actually suplexed a god, right?
Hey, Cross, roll me another wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, sure thing.
Why would you? Wait, doesn't he have a portrait?
23! I do have a point of luck, but
He rolled the magic number. Everything goes in his favor. So says.
Cross has stopped screaming.
yeah.
Also, do you need me to roll anything to keep that ring in check? Essentially, I'm trying to, like, close my chest cavity. Okay. Strength saving throw. That's pretty good. Hopefully I don't fuck it up. Oh yeah, 27.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, thank God.
So
I
proud
just-
of this entire party.
Shuddered the ring in my chest cavity.
It is still rattling around in there pretty dang violently.
Cross will stop holding his head and stop screaming.
Quite alright, Cross. Says the headless robot.
Where did everyone go? What's going on?
There seems to be a large number of vampiric thralls at the gates. Venelin, Ralakan have gone over to do what they can to help defend this colony. At least that is what I heard this is what I gathered while they were leaving.
Is Alzin still here?
Alzin is definitely still here.
How is he holding it up?
He looks to be in pain. Whatever he is doing in this thing, it does seem to be causing him an immense amount of pain, which would likely derive quite a bit of enjoyment from Venelin were she here to see it.
Fortunately, the only other people in this room are two people who currently cannot see.
Just a few more moments.
And I presume that noise of the thralls are presumably getting louder.
Yup, as Venlin, just as you guys are starting to reach an agreement, they start properly approaching the walls. And per your directions, the soldiers immediately begin firing their holy soaked arrows. And in some cases, just straight up shooting fire arrows to light them on fire before they reach the walls.
Sure.
They figure if they're going to cover the place in oil anyway,
Not a bad
they
idea.
may as well light them on fire on the way here.
Not a bad idea.
Question.
Yes.
Didn't we already discuss that this wall had, like, those automatic gun turrets on it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, bullets are, unless you have silver ones,
Right.
a bit less than effective. Though they are firing.
Well,
I
here's what I need to ask: what's the caliber of the bullet that they're firing?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It kind of does.
No, Spaz, it doesn't. In D&D rules, if it's a vampire, they are basically immune to any damage from a non-magical weapon that isn't silvered.
Like, it could, like, blow off a vampire's leg, but at the end of the day, the vampire will slowly regenerate that limb.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to go for, because it's like, if the turrets are shooting 9mm, then yeah, no one's getting... It's just tickling them. But if they're shooting like 50 BMG or 40-06, then yeah, them vampires are losing at least a limb or two.
At the very least, it'll slow
Hang
them
on,
down.
hang on. Tim, you've been trying to say something for the past couple of minutes.
The
Sorry.
reason I was bringing it up before that whole discussion started was that you had not once mentioned that they were firing, so that made me feel like something was amiss and they weren't actually doing anything.
Nope. You're good.
Okay.
Normally, them getting their legs blown off would play a much bigger factor if you were not looking at, like, a World War Z amount of thralls. So...
Yeah.
It'll slow
Even
them
if,
down,
like...
but something's just going to take its place.
Like, sure, you got a pile of disabled vampires at the bottom, but that's something that the rest of them can use to climb up. Now, should I transport you back to the armory the old-fashioned way, or can you get there on your own? You're pretty sure, Ral, what the vampire means by the old-fashioned way.
Help.
And he kind of, like, opens a hand for Vendelin to take.
Which she does.
Beautiful. And immediately, both of you are swooped up by a swarm of bats that fly you a good half-mile across down to the armory. Dropping you at the entrance before rematerializing. The boys and I will be waiting here for you to be done with your task, whatever it is.
I feel like this should go without saying. Don't eat the people here.
If you insist.
I wouldn't say it if I didn't.
He's very clearly being a little bit sarcastic.
This woman is tired. And is already planning on how the fuck she's gonna kill Alzin for murdering 2 guards. This woman doesn't have time for that kind of sass.
He gives her yet another small bow before returning to the boat.
Fantastic. And then I guess we're gonna go back into the armory.
Cross.
Yeah.
One last wisdom save.
Okay.
And one last strength save on behalf of our boy Jason.
18 strength save.
You are continuing to keep the ring contained within your chest cavity. And Cross, the voices are getting louder, but not loud enough that you can start screaming.
Okay. He kind of shakes his head a bit, trying to focus on something that isn't the screaming.
Alzin is slumped over in the chair once again. The helmet is still on his head, but he looks extremely labored. Ral, something smells burnt. And you're pretty sure it's Alzin.
Oh.
Vampire smoke. Don't breathe this.
He is not dead. However, he is, very, very much hurt.
Crispy.
You alright in there? Alzin?
Get this thing off me.
What smells like cooked goose?
Alzin! Jason, get off him!
You lift the helmet off of him, and Jason, you immediately kind of like go gadget it back to your head, fill it with the rest of your skull, and your ocular sensors return.
Wonderful.
The moment you do so, you can see the coordinates being uploaded from Jason's frame into the system computer. Venlin, you notice something in particular about the coordinates, that they have a z-axis.
Which would imply that it is either in the air or underground.
It looks to be very high in the air. Higher than New Manhattan was.
Uh-huh.
Are we going to space?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
I was wondering if vampires colonized the moon.
I don't have it in me to run Destiny 2 Shadowkeep campaign over again. I don't have the energy to go Moon's Haunted.
No, none of that. None of that. Moon's not haunted. No, I'm feeling that this might be more like an installation that hovers far above the Earth, you know, a la Black Widow.
Don't worry, you guys aren't going to the ISS or anything like that. At least not yet.
Well, alright, so it's way high up in the air, which is already concerning. Yeah, okay. Well, as much as I would... Well, at least we now have coordinates and something to power a teleporter to get us up there. Alex, we do only have 10 minutes left.
Yup. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And I do still have my party appreciation to do.
Yes. You guys begin to step to the teleporter. Venolin.
Yo.
Given the first conversation that you had with Alzin about his deep-seated desire to come here and fight Sangren himself, will you bring him with you through the portal?
He wants to fight Sangren.
He did tell you that earlier. The first time you talked to him in here. That his original plan was to come here himself.
You know what? Yes, we're gonna bring him with us because I can't trust him to not kill humans here in the settlement.
You and Ral kind of pick him up by the shoulders and drag him into the teleporter. And and the party is immediately rushed with a blue beam of light that envelops all of you. This strange vacuum like shunts all of you high into the air. And over the span of a brief few seconds, you find yourselves on another teleporter pad. It appears to be in a warehouse of some sort. You can see windows, but they're very high up. You can see all sorts of operating equipment, hinges and turbines, and all these different safeguards in place. But mostly you can see a bright, glowing light just outside the far windows. Jason,
Yeah.
the ring has stopped.
Well, that's good. Ring seems to have subsided.
It has ceased clattering. Cross. The voices are silent.
Cross has a heavily worried expression while he lets out a sigh of relief. I saw things when he was using the machine. A castle, a large clock tower. And its face turned into a giant eye and was just staring at me, and all the voices came crawling in at once.
And now they're quiet.
Everything stopped.
Well, I don't know if I should be relieved or concerned.
What does the ring look like now?
That would be a
Jason-
good idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, did you say what does the ring look like?
Yep.
Jason's going to open his chest cavity and, while still keeping a firm grasp on it, analyze what has happened during that whole nonsense.
A gentle stream of blood drips outward from your chest cavity.
So, I
The
appeared.
ring clatters from your chest onto the ground. A seeming mess of thorny, rigid spikes that look as though anyone made of, fleshy bits would have a very hard time picking it up without stabbing themselves with it. It no longer resembles a ring. In fact, the loop that once held it around your neck is barely present at the base of it. The shards of the gem that it once held are kind of stuck to some of the blood on the inside of your chest cavity, but some of them do clatter out and gently pepper the ground beneath you.
Oh. My interior is kind of filled with blood. And, that ring does look rather, well, no longer like a ring. Just a mass of thorns and blades and... Glad it was no longer on you.
As this is going on, Venelin, you head outside just to peek outside the door. And you find yourself standing on what looks like a pier overlooking a river. Where this river goes to, or comes from, you cannot imagine, given how high in the air you know yourself and the party to be. However, it is nonetheless here. Your presence is bathed in a blinding white light, as looking up finds you face to face with a massive circular structure. You'd almost excuse it for a torture device were it not so very bright. And its light manages to illuminate to you just off a long bridge crossing this river towards a castle, several blocks in length and topped with a clock tower.
God damn it. Well, it sounds like we know where we need to go. Because I'm gonna go in and tell them I found a castle.
As you turn around to re-enter the warehouse, you can see a sign on the outside that reads, Maintenance, the Eye. And that is where we are going to stop for tonight.
Whoa.
Boy, we getting here.
And before we do our thank yous and our calls to action, I believe that Maddie has a party appreciation to rack up on.
I do. Oh boy. Well, Tim, I'm gonna start with you tonight. Cross is a goddamn treasure. His absolute sheer ability to just give absolutely zero fucks about his blindness and constantly making jokes about it, to the point where the party has almost started to anticipate them and correct themselves before you can, is a fucking treasure, and I love it. It has been a source of great enjoyment for me. Jason, you are incredibly helpful in every sense of the word, and I absolutely 100% should have let you take out the trash with that vampire instead of letting him go. I have regrets. We definitely should have done that, but also we may not have had the help at the settlement, so who knows? Who knows?
Would have been fun.
It'd have been hella fun. We'd have kicked his ass. To the DM, we couldn't have this story without you, and this story is fantastic. Thank you for letting me be this angsty half-elf who just
Full
wants
of rage.
to... Yes, this angsty half-elf full of rage that just wants to kill the things in the night that have tried to kill her family and have almost successfully turned one of her dads. And Ralakan Spaz. It is with a very, very heavy heart that we are going to bid adieu to you tonight. That this is the
Lord.
last session we are going to have with you, and I am really glad that I got to make fun of you about the bird before you left.
Who knows what the future's gonna hold for me at my new job. Hopefully I do get my Saturdays back. Fingers crossed.
But for now, we are going to bid you farewell. You are going to be missed because Ralakan with his it's slimy because it's morning, and I'm
falling out of my chair.
Falling out of my chair so hard I unplugged my computer. Also, I'm a fish. That's a good point. Your incredible non sequiturs, the one-liners, the forcing the DM to take psychic damage because your puns will just not stop. The consistent DM calling you different religions as your first name instead of your actual first name. All of that will be missed. But Venelin, I think, will be ultimately disappointed that she didn't actually get to kill Ralakan as promised. But hey, maybe the journey was the friends we made along the way anyway. I butchered that. Fuck it.
The journey was the slime we made along the way.
No!
It's fine. I'm sure Ralakan will have plenty to do in New London.
Nah,
Ooh.
Waffle! We're closer to Norway!
Oh.
But that being said, Alex, I will turn it over to you, dear.
Absolutely. I'll appreciate your awful puns, Waffle. I love awful puns. Honestly, I play up the whole pun thing because I have too many friends that make awful puns. But you are absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate your puns. As always, first off, we're thanking our sponsor, D&D Beyond. D, the letter N, D, Beyond.com. A massive repository for all things 5th edition, as well as a sprawling homebrew compendium to draw from or add to for a small subscription fee. Tomorrow, we have... What do we have tomorrow?
Fahrenheit.
Varenheim. Yeah. Monday. Is Troubleshooters back on Monday?
I believe so.
Beautiful. Troubleshooters is back on Monday, run by our head DM, Heath. Tuesday, Star Wars. Remnant Shadow. Yes. Wonderful. I'm getting it down.
Oh, it's
Wednesday.
back on the 7th. Next week.
Oh, whoops.
Not
Sorry.
next week, the week after. Whatever. The 7th of March is when the Troubleshooters are back.
Yeah. In any case.
Wednesday's
False Skull Nights. Let's go! Thursday, Maddie is DMing a Knight's Ransom. Friday. Do we have anything on Friday?
We don't have anything on the Dire Bear channel on Friday, but we are currently, a lot of our members are showing up on Brecarious's horror stream, which is nearing its end, so.
Wonderful. And next Saturday, the party returns in the Stolen Cities as they traverse New London to find the entrance to Sangren's throne world. Cross already has a pretty good idea where it is, and it's not very far. As always, thank you so much for coming and watching and staying here with us. And remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, get vaccinated, be kind to one another, and roar for initiative. Have a wonderful night.